Hey guys, Tez here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking through my low buy year and just some of the steps that I've taken to help me get through it. So I heard about low buy years last year, and when I was watching people talk about them, they just resonated with me and my current set of goals and values and the lifestyle I'm trying to achieve. So I decided that in 2022 I would do my own low buy year and see how I get on. So before we get started, don't forget to grab a cup of tea to have with Tez and let's jump right in. So I guess the main reason why I'm doing a low buy year is because I currently have a lot of anxiety around money and finances and whether I have enough money, whether I'm going to need more money in the future. And I know it's not realistic for everyone to be a millionaire, so I'm taking the steps that I can to help me feel more secure in my situation and just, I suppose, retire a little bit earlier if I can. So that's part of the reason, well, I guess the main reason really, why I'm doing the low buy year. So some of the rules that I've implemented for my low buy year include having a structured but not strict budget. So by that I mean I know how much money I can spend a month, but if I, let's say, have 500 a month and then I spend 400 on food and then 100 on petrol, that's okay even if my budget is set to 200 for food and 300 for petrol. So just having a bit of structure but not making it so strict that I have no breathing room, because I do still want to enjoy life. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is buying clothes to replace what I'm getting rid of. So I have a lot of clothes that I haven't worn due to the pandemic, like a lot of people, and now it's just not my style anymore. So instead of throwing those clothes away or just keeping them in my wardrobe, I've decided to sell them, and I'm using various websites and marketplaces to sell them just so I get a little bit of money, and then I can use that money to buy new clothes that are more to my current taste and style, and that way it's not actually impacting my budget because I'm selling something to buy something instead. I have also done that with technology, which is why I sold my old GoPro, tablet and all sorts so that I could buy my new iPad, so that way it's not a huge financial burden. I also have decided not to buy things like candles and books because I currently have a lot of candles that I need to get through and I have a lot of books that I need to read but I still haven't gotten around to it. I feel like every year I think to myself, this is the year I'm going to read all my extra books, but I don't, because I get excited by Booker Prize books and all the new books that come out and I just end up not reading the books I currently already own. So I'm trying not to buy books, whether that's Audible or physical books, just so I can read what I actually have. I've also decided not to buy myself any plants this year. If anything, I've been selling some of the plants that I have. I am really obsessed with plants and I love the ritual of watering them, taking care of them, trimming them, but it does take a lot of time and it is quite expensive for me to keep updating them, so they need repotting every year. You need to buy bigger pots, plant pots, the decorative ones and the ones that the soil actually goes in, and it's becoming a little bit of an expensive hobby for me. So I decided to downgrade and sell some of the plants I have, and just to have a few favourites that I really appreciate and can take my time to still enjoy and still have the benefits of the fresh air and the feel of an airy green space. I like to do a lot of things and I have a lot of hobbies, and one of my problems is that when I decide to get a new hobby I become completely obsessed. So I currently have a lot of yarn, a lot of needles and a lot of crochet hooks and a lot of unfinished projects that I'm currently working on. So I'll see someone do something on YouTube and I'll think I want to do that, so I'll buy like 20 balls of yarn and the project will take 15, and then that's 5 balls of yarn that I now have for no reason, and that will keep happening. So I end up with a collection of different types of yarn, different colours, different patterns, different feels, different textures that I never use. So I've decided not to buy any more yarn, and if I want to do a project I just have to use the yarn that I have, and that way I can just keep an eye out on my hobbies and make sure that I use the stuff I already have in my house before I spend more money to bring more stuff in. Another way to help me with my low buy year is to use the things I already have in my house, and I just think that if I needed it urgently I would probably already own it, and the way that helps me do that is by decluttering sections periodically in my house. So I might go through all my dresses and think, do I need this dress? No. If I do, then I keep it, and if I don't, I can put it on a website and sell it, and that way it just helps me remember what I actually own before I go buy maybe another outfit that looks extremely similar to one I already have. I found it useful to reuse the items I already have in my house. So for example, when I got sweets before, the container, instead of throwing that away, I now keep the extra sauce packets that I get from Nando's, McDonald's, whatever, and it just helps me that when I need ketchup, instead of having to go buy a whole big bottle of ketchup for someone who hardly eats it, I can just use those little containers, and that way I'm not wasting. There are some things that are quite torn, like when I get rid of stuff and I have to recycle it responsibly, but little steps like that just help clear your mind, get rid of stuff you're not using, and just because I just think the more stuff you have, the more you have to clean, because that's stuff that you have to move around and clean. So for me, I'm just think the less the better, really. I also have a very minimalistic self-care routine. I don't wear makeup. I do wear lip stuff, which I guess might class as makeup, I'm not sure, but I don't have any foundation or whatever else people use. And the main reason is that there's a lot of information and a lot of products that you can try on your face, and I just don't have the financial freedom, I guess, to try out all those different products and see what works for me. And I think it would hurt my soul so much to spend £100 maybe on a facial moisturizer and notice that it's not the right one for my skin. I know you're supposed to try to find the right one, but I'm just not at liberty, or I guess it's not a priority for me because the routine that I have now works. So I guess sometimes instead of trying to seek out these new ways of doing stuff, if the way you're doing something already works, then there's no need to change it. Another way that's helpful with my low buy year is by not having a gym membership, and that's helped by the fact that I do mixed martial arts. I think I mentioned at the start of the year that that was something I was going to start, and because I do that, it means I don't need a gym membership, and I also have very minimal exercise equipment. In fact, some of the equipment that I currently own, I am planning on selling it because I've not been using it as much, and I'd much rather give it to someone who's going to use it and make the most out of it. Another good thing about having a low buy year is that you have extra money to spend on the things that you do want, of which I do have a wish list of things that I want. One of the things that I want is a new phone, and I know I mentioned what happened with my phone and how I'm using a Huawei, and it is better than the Nokia that I had before, but it is honestly not user friendly at all. It's very slow, it glitches all the time, sometimes the whole phone just freezes. It's not user friendly, and I'm not enjoying the experience. So I have started saving up so that when the new phone comes out that I do want, I'm ready to purchase it, and it doesn't feel like a big drain on my finances because it's something that I've put money towards for. So my wish list is basically anything that costs over £100. I usually put it on there, and it has to be there for a minimum of 3 months before I think of buying it, and it just helps to think, because sometimes you think you want something but a couple of months later you don't. So having something on there for 3 months just helps. If I still want it just as badly, then it is something that I probably do want, and then I can start looking at saving up for it. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys are planning on doing a low buy year and some of the tips that you have. Don't forget to hit that like button so the video reaches more people. Subscribe if you haven't already because it really helps me out, and until next time, bye for now.